Yeah. And again, we'll get to that. The lessons we learn in places like business school are not the only ways to get things done, right? Some of these ideas do run counter to what we learn, and entrepreneurs and certain leaders do take risks and do operate outside the box. So I think what we should do is do a rapid fire. We want to go through the last 5 chapters, and I think really hit on. I love for our audience. What is that one key soundbite, that one key takeaway from that, when you were thinking about each of the last 5 commandments? Trump behind closed doors, one-on-one, the fluidity of friends, foils, and foes.
Trump can make friends with anybody on the planet, whether or not it's the president of North Korea threatening us with a nuclear attack, or whether or not it is Mayor Mondami of the opposite party and representing an extreme wing of the opposite party to what he would be representing, is he can have a warm embrace, a great joke. When Brad Karp of Paul Weiss was in the Oval Office for 3 hours as he's being shaken down by Donald Trump, they got together and Trump told them how much he liked them. They were laughing and joking about different things, and they came to
Which
terms.
takes you back to his call to Governor Walz.
Exactly. He's attacking him, insulting him one day. Not even 24 hours later, let's figure out how to work this out.
Or the aforementioned Marco Rubio, little Marco, I want you to be Secretary of State.
A guy who called him, his vice president, he called him America's Hitler. And he made J.D. Vance his vice president. And Marco Rubio, exactly, he called him a great autocrat and a fraud. And he puts these people on his cabinet.
It's such a unique characteristic.
It truly...
I didn't say quality, I almost did. I don't know what it is.
Truly unusual. I was at one event where at Larry Kudlow's house, before Kudlow joined the Trump 1.0 administration in the summer of 2016, and we went around the room table to table where people were there saying who their candidates were. These were largely a Republican crowd that were backing different candidates. None of them were backing Donald Trump. And then I just stood up and said, I'm surprised none of you have said what the big elephant in the room is, which to this crowd would have been, the symbol of the Republican elephant. I thought I'd be flattered. And they said, who? And I told who it was, and they all laughed. And one woman stood up with long blondish gray hair, very thin, articulate. She said, I'm an expert in consumer behavior, Jeffrey. If you were not a school teacher, I would tell you what you would need to know, which is that I will tell you that I'm a vice chairman of the Ted Cruz campaign, and and knowing the psychographics of women voters, Republican voters, not any more than 10% would ever vote for Donald Trump. That was Kellyanne Conway. She flipped, he flipped, and went for her. And this has been, I witnessed it, I was a part of it, it has been documented subsequently, and none of us have been sued in the documentation. And I've got witnesses like Mary Kissel from the Wall Street Journal and Lynn Tilden from Patriotic Partners and others there who corroborate that this is what happened, what she said. She winds up, herself, Mary Kissel, who said, well, she was a big supporter of Carly Fiorina and that Trump was an unworthy candidate. She wound up in the Trump Justice Department. It is pretty astounding. And I would point these things out to Trump, and he said he didn't care. He found it useful.